Hey everyone, J7J's here, bringing you my Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles unique character tier list for Tactician mode. Now in this hard mode, quote unquote, the enemies will have more HP, they're going to deal more damage, and they're also going to be faster, while your characters deal less damage. So I got early access to the game and I've been experimenting and messing around. And this is going to be my personal experience using all these characters. And this list is largely going to be based on their unique job action abilities, their stats, equipment options, and I'll also consider them when you mix and match certain abilities. So with all that being said, let's get started. Now, Agrias and her Holy Knight, I do wish they gave her more PA, one more move, and whatnot, but she's still a solid character. I don't think she's gonna carry you and obliterate every single boss. And with her abilities, I suggest sometimes maybe going for the Northwind Strike for the possible KO, or using Judgment Blade over things like Hollowed Bolt, as it's much harder to brute force your way. And she definitely gets better into the late game. You have access to Night Swords, and the end game ones like Excalibur and Chaos Blade, she's going to shine very well. And she's going to be a good character because Holy Sword, you can't avoid these abilities. So with all that being considered, I'm going to give her A tier. Like, she's not quite overpowered in my opinion, but she's always a good choice to have in your party. And we can't forget, she's the next top model. And here's the clip here. Now, Beowulf. Anyone who thinks he's not good in the original game and in this game, I question their tactical ability or in-game knowledge. If I see him like lower, you don't know this game at all. So Beowulf, now with males in this game, they're even better. They can equip the hair adornments in female, and no, I mean the perfumes and hair adornments that were exclusive to females in the original and in War of the Lions. Now, Beowulf has a base moveset of 4. His abilities are insane. You just want to increase his bravery and faith, or I mean, just faith for his spellblade abilities. That's going to make the success rate a lot better. And he can also attack well too with Night Swords, increase that bravery. So things like Break, very good against common enemies. Drain is good against Lucavi. Chicken, he can lower bravery. He's essential in some of the hardest boss fights, in my opinion. He's going to make your life a whole lot easier. He can attack, Spellblade. He's like a knight and a mystic on steroids, and he's mobile. So, SS, he's incredible. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. If you see him being low or mid, you probably shouldn't take advice from that YouTuber. Now, the Byblos. To me, he's just too slow. Sure, you can poach with him. He has ignore height, can't enter water, and he can do funny things with like mana burn, parasite. But because he can't equip anything and you can't give him any other abilities, he's just limited to that. He's E tier, and he's just too slow in my opinion. Like, he's cool and all, he joins us, but there's more to it than that. Now, Cloud Strife, he does get better in this game. I don't think he's trash this time around, but I still think they could have done a better job with his stats or with how Limit works. So Limit is faster, but you still need the Materia Blade to have it equipped. Both versions of the Materia Blade, the Materia Blade Plus and the original. Like, he's still based on MA. I just wish he had better move, overall stats. He isn't trash by any means. His finishing touch is fast, very good against enemies, but I still found his Limit not doing like the insane damage I liked to bosses. Now, you can do some fun things with Ascension versus high HP targets, but to me, he's still gimmicky. He's better. Like, the developers went in the right direction, but more could have been done. To me, he's B tier. He's pretty good. Now, Construct 8. He is a powerhouse with his physical attacks, his HP. But because he's a monster, he's very limited in how you can customize him. And on Tactician mode, you can't just brute force your way. I mean, you can, but it's not going to be the best option until you get things like Chaos Blades and extremely high bravery. So put him in D tier. And just like with Rize's Holy Breath, Rize's Holy Dragon, I'm sorry. She absorbs Holy, that's great. I forgot Construct 8 is an Atheist, so he's going to be pretty much impervious to all magic damage. Rize is a good monster, but just like the other monsters, no equipment options, and you can't learn other abilities. She just has what she has. She's in D tier. But I like Purple Dragons. He kind of reminds me of Spyro. Now, Merrick. He is relatively the same as how he was in War of the Lions. His Nether Mattress seems to work. Like, it seems to focus more on the center tile, and he can strike more times. So I know the developers aren't fans of War of the Lions, but they're definitely taking inspiration from it. So because his Nether Mantra is RNG based still, and it's largely based on how low his fate stat is, as well as target fate stat, that can be a problem. He can still do great numbers, but that RNG thing, I do like his moveset of 4 though, but I wish they could have done more with Eric, in my opinion. So to me, he's C. There are just better options to use, in my opinion. Now, Meliadul, her Unyielding Blade damage did get nerfed quite a bit, but her abilities are still very solid. They're never going to miss unless an enemy has Safeguard. They're going to deal more damage if the target has certain designated item equipment there. So she's going to do, like, let's just say a knight has a Rune Blade. That first strike with a Crush Weapon is going to deal a good bit more damage than the second time when his item is destroyed. She has good attack. There's a base moveset of 4. She can equip clothing and even spears. You can do a fun jump build with her secondary if the target has Safeguard. So, and when she joins, just being able to destroy enemy equipment is very key. It's not going to finish them per se, but just getting rid of someone's sword like Dice Dark or Flamarv will make the battle a whole lot easier. I still think she's good. He deserves AA, up there with Agrius. Now Mustadio. I love this guy. Like, put him in some battles. You're gonna see more dialogue. You're gonna love him this time around. But in terms of gameplay, I really thought he was bringing me down in the earlier battles. He scales a lot better with the magic guns, increases faith, give him an elemental boosting equipment item, give him magic boost for his support ability. He can do damage. But throughout most of that game, I just felt I would have liked to have someone else in my party. And with the damage being nerfed and leg and arm aim being RNG dependent, I had him missing more times than not. I know that's RNG. I love him, but I think there are better options. I sadly got to put him in C tier. I do think he's more consistent than Merrick, though, but yeah. Now, Orlando. There are talks about him being nerfed and whatnot. He's still one of the best party members, arguably still the best. You know, he has Shadowblade of Gafgarian's abilities. He has Agrius's abilities. He has Meliadul's abilities. He can equip hats, clothing. He has a base moveset of 4. He comes with Excalibur. Still one of the best characters, and one that I recommend using if you really want to see the story and characters more. It's going to be awesome with that. Like, pretty much everyone here is going to have more dialogue, and Orlando was one of them. So he still is the King of Kings with SS. So just like Meliadul's Unyielding Blade, the damage isn't there, but you're still going to see fantastic numbers. Holy Sword and Gafgarian's abilities. Now, Ramza. He's got the whole world calling him Ramza instead of Ramza now. Incredible character. I wish they buffed his ultimate ability. To me, that still sucks. But throughout all the chapters, you know, his Tailwind in chapter 1, his steal in chapters 2 and 3, his shout, and the fact that his equipment options get better throughout the game. Like, this Tailwind alone carries you through Tactician mode. Like, I recommend getting that over things like JP Boost, Move Plus 1, because you're going to want to be taking more turns to finish off enemies, and speed is king this game. So, and he can also get 97 Faith without leaving the party. It's, to me, not that game breaking as people make it out to be, but having that extra damage or percentage accuracy is always nice. He can also make the best treasure hunter as well, as opposed to this one, because his bravery can go lower without leaving the party. So he's a fantastic support. I just wish his abilities were more devastating, like kill potential, like these two, but Ramza is S. And female equipment options, the men reign supreme this time around. Now, Rafa, she is better than Merrick. She has moveset of 3 though, so she's not going to be as mobile, but she is faster. Now, her abilities aren't based on the Faith stat. They're based primarily on her magic attack stat, and you can boost some of her abilities with an elemental boosting accessory like Japamala or Black Robe. Same goes to Merrick and Mustadio's magic guns, by the way. I do think she's better than them, and she can deal some awesome numbers, but in Tactician mode, where it's kind of hard to flat out brute force enemies, and she's RNG dependent, she's still better than these two in my opinion. She gets better. She makes a fantastic treasure hunter, by the way, with Chemist. So I think she's B. Like, they definitely got it better. I don't think they're trash by any means. Like, PlayStation 1, they're trash. War of the Lions, I was a bit too harsh on them. They can still do well. Rafa is better than for sure. Now, Reese. Her stats are the best in the game. She has quite a few passive abilities, you know, in Beastmaster, Dual Wield, Tame, and whatnot. She's incredible. Her equipment options aren't very good, though. But there is that. But if she did have more, she'd be insane. And she has some underrated, unique abilities with her Dragon's Tame, Dragon's Charm, and whatnot. She can do awesome things with dragons. And her Holy Breath, make sure the target you're targeting, just like in War of the Lions, like you select the enemy, not just putting it on some random square. You're going to have more accuracy. So again, that's more RNG dependent. And she's more of a mixed matcher. Like, if you give her arithmetics in Iaido. But this list is largely or factor, like mostly on what they can do in their base job. The Holy Breath is still good, but it's still harder. Like, it's still RNG dependent. It's harder to brute force, but her stats and all that, they're amazing. She can do some fun things with dragons in your party, especially Tiamats and Greater Hydras. And if you want to mix and match, she's there for you. She's not bad at all. I heard someone say, like, oh, did she get better? In Tactician mode, she's going to take a slight hit, but she's still fantastic. A tier. So, with all that being said, this was my Tactician mode tier list for the Ivalice Chronicles. Like, it's still going to be very similar to War of the Lions and who is good or not. And yeah, this was what I feel. Anyone who says Beowulf is like not top, yeah, you should probably not listen to them, in my opinion, or Orlando not being that good, or Ramza as well. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video on my opinions and how I rank all the unique characters. I got a lot more stuff to come. So again, thank you all for being here, giving me a platform and audience for this game. I just love Final Fantasy Tactics, and I'm nothing without you guys. So thank you for watching, and as always, all the best when it comes to your health, wealth, and happiness. Take care, and I'll see you next time.